Hello, Supersetman here, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very interesting one for me and I hope you guys will feel the same way. How would Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath would have looked if they both were standing together on the same stage in their prime? In order to scale them more accurately, I used pics with both of them standing next to Jay Cutler, and I modified the scaling until Jay would be at the same size in both ears. So let's see what I got. I did this for all 8 mandatory poses and we start with the front double as always. I'll be using 2005 Mr. Olympia prejudging for Ronnie and 2011 Mr. Olympia prejudging for Phil. And yes, I know this is probably Phil's best year against Ronnie's last Mr. Olympia win, which is not his best shape. But he was in very good shape at this show, and I think Ronnie Coleman 2005 is a very underrated physique. The main reasons I chose these shows though are because comparison pictures against Jay Cutler are at a very good quality for both Ronnie and Phil. And also Jay was in good shape in both 2005 and 2011, where he placed second in both years, behind the gentleman we're comparing today. First we can notice both comparisons side by side, with Jay in the middle, which is very convenient for me to do this. Boom! So now we can imagine that all three are standing on the same stage together. Keep in mind guys that pictures were not taken from the same angle, and there's also the human error in play, because even though I spent a lot of time to scale these pics, this is only my point of view. That being said, let's take out Hybrid J and get to the main event, which is Ronnie vs Phil on the same stage. I have to admit that I would have expected Ronnie to overshadow Phil more with his size, but maybe this one was not so accurate. So let's see the next pose. And again, let's check out first both comparisons side by side. Fortunately enough, Jay is holding this pose the same way, so we can do this again. So now we're looking again at all three of them as they would be on the same stage together, with Ronnie on the left, Phil on the right, and Hybrid J in the middle. Yes, I'll be using this nickname for Jay's representation, with one half from 2005 and the other one from 2011. So please don't dislike this video if you don't find it as fitting as I think it is. Enough of that, let's see Ronnie and Phil side by side. As I expected, this is a pose where Ronnie is dwarfing Phil, especially with his width. But this video is not meant to see who wins each pose individually, so let's get to the next one. Side chest shot. Unfortunately for this pose I could not create the Hybrid J, as he was holding this pose differently in 2005 and 2011, so we're going to look directly at Ronnie vs Phil. As we all know, they both look good in this pose, having powerful arms and delts, with an advantage for Ronnie in the chest department of course. I know you're all waiting to see the back shots, because this is where it gets interesting between these two. And Hybrid J is back, and as you can notice, Jay's 2005 left half does not fit very nice to the 2011 right half, but I think this is pretty accurate. Ronnie vs Phil side by side, this is what we wanted to see, right? Phil is holding up very good against Ronnie, and I know Ronnie's back in 2005 was not what it used to be, but still, for all of you who think Ronnie would smoke Phil here, think again guys. And no, I'm not saying Phil is better, but there is not the difference most of you guys think it is between these two. This is a very tight battle. Let's check out the other back pose, the back lat spread. Jay's lower back seems to have gotten worse in 2011, but we're not talking Jay in this video, right? We're getting closer, guys. I've always loved Ronnie versus Phil in the back shots and especially in the back lat spread, so let's see. They hold this pose differently. Ronnie is leaning more to the front. They are both very complete in the back shots. The only criticism Phil can get is for his narrowness, but he presents more details than Ronnie here. Next pose is the side triceps, and for this one, as for the other side pose, the side chest, it's very difficult to combine the photos with one half of J from one side and the other from the other side, but I got something for this one. Check it out, guys. What do you think? I think it's pretty good actually. We can make an idea at least, right? Let's look at Ronnie versus Phil side by side. Obviously this is one pose where Ronnie would never defeat Phil, but look at the size difference. Ronnie was truly a mass monster. Abs and thighs, guys. Let's skip this boring part and see if we can get hybrid J from this one. Yes, we can, and I know Jay was holding the pose a bit differently in 2011. We can notice that on the head especially, but I try to focus most on the cuts in his abs and I'm satisfied with the result. But now let's see Ron versus Phil. This is another bad pose for Ronnie. It's true that his midsection was looking better in 2005 than in 2004, but look at Phil. The abs and thighs was a strong pose for him back then, right guys? Okay, let's look at the last pose of the night, the most muscular. Hybrid J is back, everything looking good from my point of view, and now let's get to the main event. This is another very strong pose for both of them, just like both back poses. Ronnie is bigger and wider, but Phil has that fullness, that cartoonish look that compensates for the size difference in my opinion. Beautiful pose for both of them. That was all, guys. This was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like this video if you did. It helps me get more exposure as my channel is still small. Also let me know your opinion about this video in the comment section and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Also subscribe to stay up to date. See you next time.